Hi, everybody. It's Rory, and this is a follow-up recording on the matter regarding the lawsuit case and where we are with regards to Sam Lee and VIDILOOK. So let's just jump straight into it. Let me just play slideshow. Hope everybody can see that. So today is the 17th of September, and again, this presentation is private and for members only that have been affected. I'm not giving any advice, and this is for educational purposes, and this is from my perspective. Just a quick one at the bottom there. You can take a quick snapshot. This is askroryc@gmail.com. The reason I've created that email address is so that we can communicate together, and I've got some people helping me coordinating the information as well. And I've had quite a few emails, and I'm really looking forward to replying to every single person. Thank you so much for that support that you've given me. So what are we really talking about here? So it's really around the hypertech group. And, there's been a lot of programs out there in the cryptocurrency market and space. And with the hypertech group, we've seen Hyper One, Hyper Community, and they went into things like Hyper Capital, Hyper Global, Hyper Fund, Hyperverse, Hyper Nation, Hyper Cosmos. And basically where we're sitting is that people have not been paid out, and there's now just recently been some conversion of all the value that we had to some token which has no value. So we need to get to the bottom of it. There's a lot of people that have been exposed, and we would like to get to the truth of that matter. StableDAO, it launched last year, September, October. This is a Sam Lee initiative. But part of that initiative, there was a thing called Stable Opinion. Again, this is subject to confirmation because I didn't do it, but Stable Opinion, as far as I understand, is not paying in anybody for the actual questionnaires that have been answered and asked. When last I heard, this had all been moved off. Chavez was running with this IT platform. He was contracted to do that, and apparently everything is now being passed back over to Sam. VIDILOOK beta and live. This is probably the one that's closest to us right now, and we need to get to the truth. There's a lot of money that has gone missing, and it's quite interesting. There was an article published that I saw today. Let's read it and see what the current views are. Step chain, I incorrectly stated 187 last time. It was actually 287 people that put in $2,800 worth. So you're looking at roughly $800,000 of value sitting there. Nobody knows what's happened. No confirmation. What Sam has told us is that Step Chain and VIDILOOK live and beta are all rolled into one with VAV that had 3.3 million, which is estimated to have taken in that short period of time. And VAV was Sam's version of VIDILOOK, which he personally guaranteed to pay everybody within 48 hours, and nobody's received those funds as yet, as far as I know. And then currently VEND, this is currently running, but I'm not sure for how long, and I'll touch on that as well. Please let me know if there's other programs I'm not aware, and how you can do that is we are busy getting together meetings. Right now, we're actually having a meeting tonight, which is Sunday, the 17th of September. Kel, one of the leaders, has asked if I can jump on with, and let's just all have a community chat. So that's 9 p.m. South African time or 8 p.m. UK time. So if you're watching it before this, there's the details, and also just check in the groups that we run there. Update, we've currently got 1,000, roughly just on 1,300 members that have completed the Google Sheet. We are aiming for 10,000. Once we've got the 10,000, we will then publish the hyperclassactionlawsuit.com website. You can go and check it out. It's there, ready to go. We're waiting to make sure the community has committed, and that's on all those projects we spoke about. It doesn't matter, any one of those projects. And there's been communication on email and Telegram, but I think the big one for me now is the leaders. The leaders need to make a decision what they want to do with their communities. Right now, there hasn't been proper answers given to the community. I think it's time that we get to the truth. And really, the leaders need to make a decision what they want to do. Are they just walking away from this project or saying, let's move on to something else? Or are we actually going to pursue this and look after our communities to get the best interest or answers? Because currently, the explanations that we've received so far for me are not suitable, and I'm sure for a lot of you out there as well. But it's really critical that we get the leaders' input and participation with their individual communities. So I'm appealing to all those leaders to please consider this. And again, you don't have to do this publicly. You can do this privately as well. And as far as getting involved in the lawsuit, you can do that privately as well. I don't mind being the front person. I know this will gather some attention potentially. I hope it doesn't get to that stage. But right now, there's a lot of money outstanding to a lot of the community members. So right now, should we get 10,000 support committed, we move forward with the lawsuits. So with regards to the leaders' input and participation, let's have private meetings to discuss that. And I've discussed this with a couple of leaders. Really, why do I want the leaders' input? And well, everybody's input really, but the leaders specifically, it's because it's their community, it's their people, it's their hard-earned, they're responsible for that community in a sense, and they want to speak on behalf of that community. So it makes sense that they get the community's opinion on this and then represent their community. I also very importantly want to make sure we discuss how we're going to manage the money that gets raised. It'll be $150,000 minimum. And there are some solid ideas how we do this. And why $150,000? Because 10,000 people multiplied by $15 gives us $150,000. And you need this kind of money if you're going to do what we plan to do. The other thing which is important is the data collected. So what data do we collect? What is required from the attorneys? I had a very good call on Friday night and actually Saturday morning. There was a 2.5-hour call with the legal firm, and we have a very good insight of exactly what we need to do based on the information at hand. So yes, it's now collecting that specific data, but I would very much like the leaders' input on that as well, and everybody's input. I've set up a Telegram group called Truth, Lies, and Videotape. And the reason for that is, we've had truth, we've had lies, and a lot of it's been on videotape. And it's also sort of a play on words for something that goes back a couple of years ago. A big one, please complete the Google Sheet. I will switch that. In fact, let's go to there now. So let me stop sharing this for a second. And let's see if we can share the Google Sheet. So let's go and have a look and see what's happening on that side. And then I'll come back to presentation. So here we go. Yeah, so I was roughly right. We got 1,274 responses. We need to get to 10,000 as a minimum. And the reason I say the minimum, because the more the better. And this will be your part of your claim for the class action suit on any one of those programs that we have spoken about. We have a specific strategy of how we're going to manage it. So yes, people, I've just asked that people can email me privately, and that it's okay for me to email them should you need to send them information. So we got 30% of the people coming from South Africa. I see United States has jumped up a little bit, United Kingdom. We got Colombia, quite big, Netherlands, Norway, and then a lot of other countries around the world. So this is very important from the legal perspective, because we need to make sure that because it's an international lawsuit case, we want to make sure we got proper representation of those people that have been affected. And this has been discussed obviously at length with the attorneys. Let us go back to the presentation. Okay. So yes, please complete that Google Sheet. Hang on a sec, I didn't finish what I wanted to show you on the Google Sheet. Sorry, let's run through some of the questions. So I know I'm jumping back here, but I think it is important that I actually show you how simple it is to complete that questionnaire. Let's go to the question. So basically what you would need to do is complete your email address, because we want to make sure it's genuine people that are completing their wishes and not a whole group of people that are spamming. Or we need to just basically to say, yes, you agree to share your email address so we can communicate with you. You choose your country and you put that in. I think we've got 196 countries. Then you can put in the different programs that you're involved in, stable DAO stroke stable opinion. I have put other there, so you can go and type something if there's a program. Then you can choose how much you're owed. Now, just to be clear on how much you owed. So this is if you put money in and never got something out, or what is sitting on your back office there. There's people sitting with USDT, and that could be a sizable amount of money that's sitting owed to you because you've converted at the right time your sales of your VDLs. Then we need to know if you're prepared to commit the $15, and this is going to allow us to actually go further. And then over here, optional is you can ask anything or type away. And again, please, I'm going to get back to every single person. We've had a really good response from everybody, and I'll be updating people further with regards to that. So let us go now and share that, carry on with the quick slideshow. So that was the update. And one thing that really, really gets me mad is, when there's rug pulls or things happen like this or money goes missing, I just want to, and this is not just for South Africa, this is for, really a lot of third world countries. Now, for those people that have stolen or hacked the money, or, I want you to understand how painful this is for our country. We have pensioners that have put their hard-earned money. Now, just to be in perspective, these pensioners are only earning like $106 a month. And they would have saved up a long time to be able to put $25 in, and it's, it doesn't seem like a lot of money, but this is the real situation in our country. To look after a foster child in our country, you get a contribution of $59 to look after a child for a whole month. That's feed them, clothe them, look after them. A child support grant, if you are unemployed, that child gets paid from the state $25 a month to feed that child, clothe that child, educate that child. And, when people are trying to change their lives, and we have such a high unemployment in our country, and people for South Africa that are watching this know exactly how this feels when money gets taken from us and the lies. So, I'm really wanting to get to the bottom of this and get to the truth, because the devastation is so real, especially for those that put their hope and belief. And again, it's not just South Africa, it's around the world, where desperate people are trying to improve their lives or trying to get a foot up. And then how people can hack and take that money away, or whatever the truth comes out, where somebody who's a pensioner that's only earning just over $100 a month, and they save every month on top of that to be able to put $25 in, or maybe they've sold something or borrowed money to be able to do this, and then they just get devastated. It is absolutely heartbreaking. And that is why I am so mad and want to get to the bottom of this as well, for all of us as a community. And just to share some interesting stats as well, our minimum wage is $25.42 to 25 Rand per hour, which is $1.34 an hour. That is our minimum wage charge here. So that means if somebody works for a full month, they would earn $232 as a minimum wage, or 4,400 Rand. And I know this is like this for a lot of third world countries. And this is why I have a personal ambition to try and bring employment into our country, and hopefully other countries, but, South Africa, where we can try and use the blockchain technology and use the ability to bring passive income to our people, where we can uplift them to earn a lot more than 4,400 Rand or $232 a month. So it's a real want for me to be able to move forward there. And I'm sure for many other people as well. So I've drafted up a calendar. Where are we sitting at the moment? So, Sunday, it's the 17th. I wanted to have a situation. Sorry, I did put it to sleep mode, but I see somebody called through. Sam Lee has come back and said that between the 18th and the 22nd, he's going to inform us of exactly what the refund plan is. Now, I don't know what that means. And we'll only know on Friday, the 22nd. That's if he has a UX call. What I'm arranging from my side is leaders and community calls from Monday. Well, we got one tonight, but I'm going to communicate a call sheet where we can have open calls and also private calls with community leaders and their specific team leaders as well. But what I see is that in the next 2 weeks, we need to reach that 10,000 number. And in the next 2 weeks, we need all the input from the leaders and community of exactly what they want to do as well. And then once we've got that information, by the 1st of October, we will then have taken all that information over these next 2 weeks and make sure that the website, which we have registered, has exactly what we need to collect. And we've got consensus from the leaders on what to collect as well. And that website will then collect the funds and the evidence potentially, and exactly what the attorneys need. We will then run that program for the next 2 weeks. Subject to that being successful, we will then go into the legal process, and between the 16th and the 22nd of October, move forward to go into the legal process on behalf of the community, if the community decides. But the only way that's going to happen is if we've got the 10,000 support that we need. So I believe as a community, we can get 10,000 people on board and know where we stand. And I think this is very important for the leaders to make that choice, what they want to do. Let's have a quick summary on Friday's UX call, the 15th of September. I was going to host my own meeting because I asked and asked and asked for days, and so did many other leaders like Sean, etc. And there was no confirmation of any calls coming through. So I then published and said, oh, well, if there's no call from head office, then I'm going to have a call because I believe the community needs to know what's going on. So 60 minutes, when this got back, 60 minutes before the actual time, there was an announcement. So I canceled my call. So yes, it was 45 minutes, but let's just get to the gist of it. Sam's still maintaining his innocence, but Sam is stepping down from these initiatives. He says he's had enough. He's no longer going to be involved with VIDILOOK, stroke Vend. He is handing that over to somebody else. He did admit to say he's done some mistakes, but they're not defined what those mistakes are. He said that his outbursts and his, behavior, and, the week before Friday, those that witnessed that call and basically abuse on us as a community, he said it was related to his emotional state, and he's a very emotional person, and that's the reason for it. Very important is, people think I'm against Sam. I'm not against Sam. I'm not against anybody right now. I just want to get to the truth. I just want us all to get to the truth. And should we get to the truth and we are deservable, we're supposed to get our funds back or get what's deserved, then we need to get that as well. So as you can see, Sam is actually in one of the groups. I've got 5 VIDILOOK groups or leaders update groups. And I said very clearly there, if Sam is innocent, great, but the truth must be given to all of us. Even he said so. And as you can see, Sam himself replying, thanks, Rory. So, if you love Sam, and I'm not, then you would support this initiative because this is going to bring the truth and it's actually going to bring credibility to Sam. And if you believe Sam's not telling the truth, well, then let's get to the truth and see what it's about. So either which way, it's important that we just go ahead and get down to brass tacks of what's actually happened. Unless next week, all of a sudden, we get all the information we need and it's not necessary, but there's a lot of questions still that need to be answered. The other thing is Vivek was not mentioned or present that I can recall. And also, just so that you guys are aware, all of the videos have been taken down. There was a YouTube site, and that's all been taken down. So all the previous videos on VIDILOOK have been deleted. So please keep those videos if you got them. But I just want to get to the truth, and I'm sure so many people want to do the same. So if we unite as a community, we'll get to that truth. Very interesting. All of a sudden, out of the blue, we've got this new, how can I say, article that was published on Steemit. Now, so Steemit gets used to, mention or get things out that, it's kind of like a paid service. So this is an article that VIDILOOK has put out, and I'm going to have to read it this way because it was hiding the text. So the article came out yesterday, and I'd like to read this out. It says here, in 2022, Facebook raised a total of $114 billion from ad revenue, and VIDILOOK created a system based on the transparency and equality of the blockchain technology that enables all members of VIDILOOK to tap into the sector that's worth billions of dollars yearly, and giving every community member the platform to tap into his opportunity. Well, okay, so let's talk about it. I think no one denies the fact that VIDILOOK as a concept is an amazing concept. And I think we've all agreed as far as that's concerned. It says here, from inception, VIDILOOK has been exceptional because of its revolutionary revenue sharing model. While our massive success has brought a lot of positive energy, it unfortunately also thrust us into the searchlight of negative organizations, especially the centralized entities that our model are threatening their business. So I'm not really following where that threat is, because, as far as I understood, there was an agreement with an ad agency, with a company where we would get paid. And I know at great lengths, Sam explained that it's only a fraction of a penny that we get paid. So it talks about Twitter has implemented a revenue sharing model, but this model is only aimed at rewarding top content creators. And they wanted to get everybody now an equal opportunity to earn from ad revenue. So just by performing simple tasks. I think we all know that. That's why we really believed that there was an opportunity here to actually fundamentally challenge the existing paradigms of advertising. So it says here, we greatly empathize with everybody who was affected by recent challenges we've been facing as a platform. It is unfortunate that while we are trying to analyze the situation and ascertain for what we are dealing with, a lot of false rumors have been circulating all over the internet, and especially Telegram, about our intentions. And the most recurring one is the fact that VIDILOOK is an organized scam that has deliberately stopped operations and prevented users from accessing their withdrawals. So I think this is the whole point, is that we want to get to the truth. We want to understand. There's a lot of information that has not been shared about the business model. So we need to get to the bottom of it. So was it a scam? Wasn't it a scam? How was the funds dispersed? The business model explained to us, and what actually took place. Don't we deserve to have the truth? And it says here, we want to assure you that this claim is false. So great, they're coming out as a company. And again, I don't know who's written this. It's been a redaction. It doesn't say this has come from Sam Lee or the new person. This is just a blog that has been put out there. So now it gets a little bit more interesting. It says, over the past few months that we've been in operation, VIDILOOK has undoubtedly been the first fair and equal ad revenue platform, and didn't make us friends. Our company that has broken boundaries and have created a highly effective blockchain ecosystem without limiting ourselves to just regions or countries. So if it's been highly effective and a blockchain ecosystem, the next part concerns me, where they talk about hackers. And this is the first time we've ever been told about this. And according to Sam, his company has done over 600 different projects, and there's never been a mention of hacking before. So how all of a sudden there has been hacking? And Sam said he was let down by individuals directly around him. Well, I know that Conrad had left and Gareth had left, and that only leaves really Vivek. And I don't know that specific role. I think that's what the courts need to decide, or what needs to come out. So it just says here, we've seen exponential growth, and just like we mentioned earlier, the growth has attracted a lot of envy and hatred from our competitors, and unfortunately also attracted the wrong kind of attention from hackers hackers who wanted to steal from the ecosystem because of the volume of transactions on a daily basis. Again, first I've heard of it, so don't know what that all means. So it goes on to, you can read, carry on to read. I'm not, the article I'll circulate, but it says here, we can boldly say that we have traced the attack back to the source and discovered that it was a masterminded by a group of hackers in collaboration with our competitors in the ad sharing industry. So if they know who it is, are they going to go and take them to task, and are they actually going to go and take legal action? Because it sounds to me that yeah, there's quite some serious statements being made here, and a sizable amount of the money was stolen from the platform. So yeah, you know, the work that I've done and had a look on it, it doesn't look like microtransactions to me. It looks like large transactions. And my experience with the blockchain, you don't just easily get hacked. So, you know, Sam was making payments or payments under instruction from Garrett, according to him, but Garrett was saying that he's never had control of the wallets. So this will get a lot more interesting down the line. Basically, they're just saying that if we can just wait, and they're coming up with a plan. But, you know, we've been waiting for Hyper for how many years now? And be waiting for step chain answers. We've been waiting, you know. I think as a community, we need to understand where we, you know, understand exactly where we stand. And as I said, we're doing everything possible to avoid the lawsuit at this point. And this would be our main motivation behind our refund program, which will be commencing soon. So there's no mention of exactly how that refund program is going to work. Is it just the capital? Is it the money that's owed to us? The other thing is, you know, we've been waiting patiently on the Golden Parachute program, and I actually took a screenshot of that. The last communication of that refund program was the 16th of August. So we've had August, September, you're already in October, and there's been no feedback with regards to the Golden Parachute, which Sam in himself said he was going to buy back. So again, we sit with plans being made, but the original plans haven't been honored yet, or seem to have stopped. So I think there's a lot on Sam's plate to sort out at the moment, and quite rightly so, it should be a focus. Let's talk about Vend quickly. Now, Vend is the new program, and what really worries me personally, and this is just a personal opinion, and I'm not putting anything down, I just want to give my perspective on it, and please go and speak to your leaders as well. You know, Vend is already connected to our VIDILOOK app. It's, again, Sam's VIDILOOK version of how he wants to run things. If you're struggling to log in, the reason for that is you mustn't use your email address. You must use your username that you have on StableDAO. And once you've put that in, you will be able to log into Vend. And I've already had a look, and you know, after all the stuff that's happened, they've already raised, you know, as of the 16th of September, they've raised $22,000. But what really concerns me is that there's a voting process that the community now decides what we should do. Should we have discounts? Shouldn't we have discounts? Now, that's all good and well, but Sam said something in Friday's meeting, and I'm trying to find a copy of that meeting. So if anybody's got it, please send it through to me. He said that the community decides, and if the liquidity gets drained, the liquidity gets drained, and that's it. So basically, it reminds me of a story with a professor, an economics professor, that basically was teaching about, you know, they were talking about communism, socialism, and basically effort. And so how the story goes is essentially, he said, right, what we'll do is that everybody here in the class, we'll just add up all the marks and we'll divide it through so everybody gets the same mark. So for the first test, you had people that studied very hard and they got A's, and you had some B's and C's and some people that failed. Well, when they added all the marks together, the people that should have got an A's only got a B minus, and the people that failed actually passed and got the same mark, but the people that had failed hadn't put any effort in. So as this goes along, there's 1 or 2 or 3 more tests, but at the end of the day, what happens is everybody fails, because quite soon enough, the people that were studying hard and trying realized, well, it's not worth the effort to do that, because everybody's just on the same foot. Now, what I'm trying to say is that you need somebody that manages the direction of the company. You need somebody that, makes decisions to make sure the liquidity is there. Now, if we sit in a situation and you've got a doubled commission and a 50% off 1-star and a 1-star package, this just tells me danger. Because if you keep doing this, there's not going to be any money in the system to be able to pay out what is supposed to be paid. So I'm not telling people what to do, but for me, this is danger. If it was me and I was involved, and I have actually subscribed to the vent to have a look at it, I can make $1 a day without buying a $50 package. And once I've got $10, I can withdraw those $10. At this stage, we don't know if it's going to work or not. So for me, before putting any further money in, I would like to see if this platform actually pays out what it says it does, and where it's going to end up. Because as Sam said, if the community decides to pull all the money out and there's no money left, then the community has decided. And I think this is very dangerous for people that come in after those that have building the platform. So additional updates. I want to do a separate presentation on VIDILOOK. I've got 15 most asked questions and updates. So I think it's important that we separate all these issues. I gave a view on Vend at the moment. And again, that was my views, but I need to go into a little bit more detail about it. Currently, we're having Zoom meetings, and we're suggesting that we do 2 types of meetings. The first one is leader calls, and that is private. That's going to be a locked call, password access. And this is really where I need to, or we need to get all the leaders' input on what they want for the community. And if you have a leader or a team leader, please speak to them. Ask them to reach out to me or to participate in these meetings so that we can get to the bottom of it and get some answers for you on all those programs you might have lost money on. Community call Zooms, as I mentioned, we're having one tonight at 9 p.m. South African time. And that one has been organized by Kel. The floor is open to all the leaders to want to have their team leaders in a private call. I'm going to set some times for open public calls that everybody can jump on, just like Kel has done. And I will then also share those. The ones that I'm doing, I'll share the recordings of the open ones. The private meetings that we're going to have with leaders are not going to be recorded, and it's purely going to be their insights and representation for their communities. The one thing I please ask, the one thing I've realized, there's so many different languages being spoken in these groups, and sometimes the message doesn't get through what we're trying to do. So please, can I appeal to you? I've tried to translate things as much as possible, but really what we need to do, in my opinion, is we need to get this message out so that all people have a chance to be represented when we go forward with the legal case, if we choose to do that. The other thing is member evidence and collection. Please don't delete anything. There were guys or people that downloaded videos, evidence, screenshots. All that information is going to be very, very important going forward as we put the legal case together. And we want to move on that sooner rather than later. And as I said, I'm working directly on the ground with people in Dubai. And we had a very good call on Friday evening. I mentioned this earlier, is that the video tube, VIDILOOK, has been taken out. All the videos have gone. So the question is, why have all the videos been deleted and taken down? What's been hid? Why has it all gone down? But I know a lot of people have those videos. So if you do have them, please, you can send them anonymously to me. We just need it as evidence for what was agreed to and what was not agreed to. And I'm making an appeal to every single one watching this. Please record your back office. Go and take screenshots now. Go and record your back office of what the values are there. Because if VIDILOOK gets switched off, then you have no record to prove what you got or don't have. You need to have that information. And we will more than likely request those screenshots or values, what's owed to you, when we go forward with the claims, should we agree to do so. So please go into your back office on your phones, take screenshots, take screen recordings of exactly what you owed. And that goes not just for VIDILOOK, that goes for all the programs. So yeah, that's really it from my side. This is a a little bit longer than usual, but I think a very important one. So again, from our side, please keep sending the messages. I'm appealing to all the leaders to please get together. It's really a call on the leaders now to help and work with the communities to go forward. I'm here. I am fully committed to this program. I've had a lot of support from a lot of people, you know, and heartfelt messages. So I know we can do this together. I know at least 10% of us can get together. And I believe that everybody should join this cause. So once and for all, we can get to the truth and we can get the money back that's owed to us if we are able to do that. It's now time for us to take action. Thank you for listening to this, and look forward to chatting to you soon. Bye for now.